Okay, gonna start doing the layout on these index centers, and I thought I'd just show you how I'm going to lay it out, and if anybody's got any better suggestions, let me know. So I got my surface plate here, and I've got the headstock end. And that's the first one I'm going to do. It's got the larger bore through it and everything. So this is kind of a wonky setup. Hopefully it's going to work out okay. So the way I'm going to set it up is I've got an angle plate here, and this is an angle plate I've had. It's got several holes in it and stuff. Originally angle plates were designed to be a disposable item. So this one I bought used. This actually came out of Boeing surplus several years ago, and I've used it for several different setups. I do have a pin in here that when I go to machining the tailstock end, I'm probably going to have to get that out one way or the other, whether I mill it flush. It's in there pretty tight. I'll probably have to mill it flush, but neither here nor there. So for the setup of this, what I'm going to do is, of course, we want our bore to be pretty much centered as best we can. And I'm pretty confident I've got a 90-degree plane from here to here. And what I'm going to use for a reference is this back surface. And I'll do that on both the headstock and the tailstock end. The tailstock end, if I do the same procedure, I will flip this over so that the bottom side is up. And that way the tailstock end will be machined. I haven't done anything with it. The tailstock end of it will be machined because it has to be threaded on this end. So we'll deal with that when we get there. We're going to do these one at a time. Ideally, probably for the home shop, the best way to machine these, I think, is to put them on a cross-slide table so that you could basically set it up and align it between centers, and then you could bore it between centers on the lathe. But on my Sheldon lathe, I don't have that capability, and on my Atlas lathe, while I've got a milling table, it's not set up to accept it right now. So anyway, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to mount it right here. There again, this is my back surface, and I'm just going to clamp it in place. I've got a couple of big C-clamps I'm going to use initially to do it. So I'm going to set it up there. The idea being that this bore is going to be closest to this back face if I use that as 90 degrees. So we're going to set it up here. I'm also going to leave this portion extend beyond. That way, in the same setup, when we're boring it in the mill, I can go ahead after that's bored. If everything goes right there, we'll go ahead and machine the flats down here for this casting to go on there like that. So anyway, one thing at a time. So we're just going to clamp it in position here like this. And I've got a couple of huge clamps. We're going to get it initially set up, and then we'll have to adjust it a little bit once we get that far. Maybe. This is one of those times when I don't have enough hands, probably. Let's just get this started to where it'll hold here. Got a little offset block that will sit here like that. And another C-clamp. To go on there just like that. And the way I'm going to align this is in either end I've got a tape. And what I did is I just drew a circle on both of them on this tape. And then I can use my center point as pretty much the center of the bore. So I drew my circle with a compass on there. I've got the center point where the point went through to hold it in the center. And I just visually aligned the outer circle to match as close as I could the outer diameter. And I did that on both front and rear. So then if I just take a surface gauge with a scribe on it, we've got this roughly held in place. If we just take our scribe here, we should be able to manually set where our center is going to be. We've got a little bit of play here, but not a whole lot, so we'll get it as close as we can on both sides. For this direction, I don't know if that's going to be a good view for you. Actually, that's very close. Let's come up just a little bit with that. that's actually very good right there. Go ahead and tighten it down. We'll add a couple more clamps when we actually start the machining of all of this, because we don't want it to move, and then we'll brace the underside of it so it can't settle. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, as a check for front to back, so basically our back is aligned up with the face of our bore is going to be aligned with our surface plate here, and we are aligned this way, up and down type of thing. Now if we set it up on end, we can do that same check with it up here. And I guess we need to move you up a little bit, don't we? Okay, so now we can do the same check on this end, assuming our surface gauge is high enough. Oop, plunk. Too many things, not enough room here. Okay, very close, I think, which just tells me that my castings are relatively true, or something's relatively true. Okay, that's close enough. I can live with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just, we'll take it to the mill. Like I say, I'll add some clamps to it. And we'll machine it in this orientation right here. And what we'll do is we'll continue to use that back face as a reference. I'll go ahead and sweep this to get it relatively straight. And there again, it doesn't have to be exact, but relatively straight. It's got to be close. We'll go ahead and sweep this and get this in alignment. Then we'll figure out how far we come over to bore our hole. That way we can match that same measurement up on the tailstock end. So that's the plan there, and at the same time, while we've got that aligned, we can cut both our slots there, or both our side cuts, like on the original, and we can drill it for our, well, I think that's a 1/4-20, as I'm sure what that is. So that'll take care of the machining for that. Then once we've got the bore done there, we'll go back, and what I'll probably do once I get both of these machined is I'm probably going to, and this has got a smaller bore than the other, I'm probably going to just turn a mandrel in the lathe that's a nice slip fit, fairly stiff fit, but a nice slip fit as if they were a regular turning mandrel, and I'll make it to where I can slide both of these on. Then we can align the back side, make them vertical, and then we can deck off the top so that they're both the same height on top. Now, one of the things that I will probably adjust on my castings is I will probably add, and it'll depend on what it takes to clean this up, I'll probably go back and add some material on the bottom of the pattern, probably a 1/16, maybe an 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little more than that, but just depends on what it takes to clean up, because I probably could have left a little bit more machining allowance. This is very close to the same height as the original headstock casting that I've got. So I think we want to leave a little bit more material there. Once that's done, then we've pretty much got our reference surfaces. We'll be 90 degrees from here to here, and we'll be in alignment and bore. Now at the same time I've got them set up there, we'll take the measurements, we'll deck this off, and we can cut our slot for our key in the top of the mill. Once that's done, why, for the most part, these will both be done. This has to be threaded, and I'll do that at the same time. We'll machine that in the mill in this orientation. And that way we can go ahead and thread it at the same time. That's probably just going to be a tap cut thread. I'll have to go back and measure the threads of that, but that's a standard thread, so we'll probably just tap that in the mill. All that is holding our tailstock cap. Once that's done, then we can orient it on the mill table. We can orient both of them on the mill table. We can drill for our pinch knobs there, and we can drill for our hold-down bolts on the both the headstock and the tailstock casting. And that'll be the machining for the casting, other than just cosmetic finishing of them, assuming everything's right. We'll deck these off straight at the same time we've got it set up in the mill, so that we've got a nice flat surface, of course. That'll leave the back surface, or the other surface. In this case, it'll be the inside surface. On the other one, it will be the inside surface on both of them. There'll be the spindle that comes through the headstock end, and it will bear flat against there. So we may have to go back and machine those flat. We'll see how that all lays out. But there again, that's once we've got that oriented, that's an easy job to handle. So we can index off of the bore and then just clamp it to our angle plate, and then just deck them off flush. So those are not that critical to get those on. Those are an easy one to do. So that's kind of my plan. If you've got any suggestions, leave them in the comments section for me below, because I can always improve the technique. If somebody's got a better idea, I'm more than happy to listen to it, and if we can, incorporate it into the machining of these. But I think that's the way I'm going to do it at this point. And once we get those castings machined, why, it's on to building parts for it. So anyway, if you like these and haven't already done it, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comments section for me below. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.